lighter too?
Yeah.
But there's 4.
I don't know. She said you could use this type or this type. It doesn't matter.
Oh, I guess I'll use this one. If you're so fun.
No, I feel like questions should be this slide and then presentation over there. Yeah.
Where are the others at?
No, wait. When you present, shouldn't you do it over there, like point? Market value is something. And then this will be questions. Yeah, we'll get back to you later. I won't give you the right questions.
Oh wait, do you kind of need a speaker notes though?
No, wait, it's over here.
Yeah, exactly. So like I need to be over here. You could do it over here, but
Yeah.
I think you could do it over here. Yeah, I think I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just be over here then. Just be like, blah 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 blah, blah blah blah, and blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Like it. Oh, do we put this down? There's more people coming in. Wait, do you know what you want? Do you think we're gonna go first?
Jeremy, are we good to go for the live streaming?
Yes, we are.
Yay. All right. All right. Well, then, welcome, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the California Nanosystems Institute at UCLA. I think I know everyone here, mostly, but for those of you who are guests, welcome. My name is Dr. Rita Blake. I am the Director of Education for the California Nanosystems Institute at UCLA. Today is a great day because this is one of my favorite programs that we get to do because it's a combination of so many skills that these students have been working so hard to develop over the last few months. So the CNSI, just to let you know, we are a pretty unique department on campus because we're not an academic department, but what we are is an interdisciplinary research institute that brings together all different areas of the sciences to focus on nanoscience research. But also what we do is that we leverage both public and private investment to really translate discoveries. So we're not just trying to push the leading edge of research, but we're trying to help take research and nurture it to become actual commercial enterprises. We have a startup incubator here in this building that brings in new tech-driven ventures into the world. So to have this program here is really special and meaningful because, again, it's taking the full spectrum of what we do and bringing it for a program that teaches all of these wonderful middle and high school students this incredible process. Just to remind everyone what is at stake for today, first I must say before the hand that every person who is presenting today, every team that's presenting today, in my view, is already a winner. I've gotten to see a lot of these presentations already, and they're all pretty spectacular. So no matter what you guys place today, know that you guys are all incredible, incredible talents. Yes, applause is correct, definitely. And everyone, again, is going to be receiving something today, but our first place team will win $2,000 in classroom supplies for their schools. Second place team will win $1,000, and third place team will win $500. And I want to quickly acknowledge the sponsor of our program and the most generous person who also helped to bring this program into ideation and into fruition, and that is Denise Avchen. Denise, thank you so much. So just to give everyone a rundown of what's going to happen today, we're starting with some quick welcome remarks, and I'll also have each of the judges quickly introduce themselves before we go. We'll start with our first 5 teams presenting. We'll take a quick break, have our next 5 teams present, and then we'll have a lunch break where our esteemed judges will deliberate and will tally the scores, and then we will have our awards ceremony. So, whoops, not our winners yet, just kidding. We don't know what that is yet. Just skip to the end, got to get through this. It's going to be a quick day. No, but I'm actually going to turn it briefly over to our judges to introduce themselves and let us know what their background is. And I'm going to actually start with Professor Tolbert, and then we'll guess I go side to side.
Okay, hello, thank you. My name is Sarah Tolbert, and I am a professor in the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry and in the Department of Material Science and Engineering, and I'm the faculty director of this education program. We started 2 decades ago when I was a wee little assistant professor and couldn't say no. And the amazing, the amazing work of so many people has built such a vibrant program. It is such an honor to be the faculty director of this program. So I want to just say to all the students, what you have done is something that never crossed my mind to do in high school or middle school. I've started a little company now, and I learned a whole lot that I didn't know that you guys have already learned at so much younger an age. When you go out into the world, you're going to be able to make way wiser decisions about what paths you want to follow, and that's really amazing. I also want to take a moment to thank our graduate student mentors, some of whom are here. We have the most... Yeah. I think all of you know that every research group, every team has 1 to 2 mentors who are volunteering their time to help ground your effort in real science and real engineering. And that's really hard because what you guys have amazing ideas and amazing creativity, but you haven't had that many science classes. And so that grounding in reality is really the glue that takes your creativity and turns it into something real. And so for sure, no aspect of this entire program would work without the incredible graduate students from all over science and engineering who volunteer their time to help all of you learn. So I want to give them one more round of applause. Okay, so we're now going to introduce all the judges, and what you're going to see is there are, people are going to have characters. Like, I'm a scientist. I'm going to ask you, will that actually work? Are you breaking laws, fundamental laws of physics with your project? So you can sort of guess. There's going to be other people who are going to be like, have you thought about your actual business plan, and do you think you can run a company for $100,000? So as people introduce themselves, you're going to get a sense for what we're all obsessed with. And then when people raise their hand for a question, you're going to know what kind of question you're going to get just based on who's asking it. Okay, so let me start passing the microphone this way.
Thank you, Sarah. Tough to follow that. But my name is Schaefer Graham. I'm with the School of Engineering. My role is Director of Industry Relations. I help professors collaborate with industry companies and also help them do startup companies sort of based on their IP and technologies. And so work in the entrepreneurship realm as well there too. Thanks.
Schaefer's a little scary because he knows a lot of engineering and a lot of business, so he could ask you anything.
Thanks, Sarah. Okay.
Oh, I was just saying, like I said to the students, speak into the mic like a
Speak into the mic, okay. Good morning, my name is George Abe. I teach entrepreneurship in the business school here at UCLA at the Anderson School. I've been teaching high-tech entrepreneurship for about 23 years now. Previously, I was a venture capitalist partner at Palomar Ventures, and before that, I was an early lucky person at Cisco Systems. So I really enjoy working with Rita. We've done this for a long time now, and I think working with high school students has been very rewarding and very good. And I must say, I don't know anything about the science, so don't ask any science questions for me, but I do know venture capital questions, and I'll ask. But I can say that the writing and the prose in your business plans I was very impressed with. So we start with good communication skills, which any business person needs, and what I saw was very encouraging. So congratulations.
My name is Howard Coe. I'm a partner with Morpheus Ventures. We're actually an early stage venture fund based in LA. We typically invest $1 million to $10 million in a company. Oftentimes we're investing $3, $4, $5, $6, $7 million. I sit on, I think, 6 boards currently across the technology landscape, all the way from enterprise software, all the way through robotics, quantum computing, and space-based related satellite propulsion companies. I'm definitely probably not the engineering question. I haven't been an engineer in about 20 plus years now. So I'll leave that to our esteemed experts here. I'm probably closer to what George is probably going to kind of focus on from a venture capitalist perspective and from a business perspective. I always find that this is one of the most fun days of the year. Now I've done it for a couple of years now, and I appreciate Rita inviting me back. If I had this opportunity when I was, back when I was in high school and middle school, that would have changed a lot of perspective for me. You guys have such a leg up. I think now being able to do this at your age and be able to experience all of this way before I even knew what a startup was. I didn't know what a startup was, frankly, until I graduated from college. And you're experiencing that way, way, way beforehand. So I want to acknowledge all of your efforts and all of your audacity to be able to do this and present something like this, which I would have never done at your age. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Denise Avshin, and I'm the CEO of Environmental Research Advocates. And we are very interested in education and funding research and in all of you. This is a spectacular opportunity for all of you. It gives you like a decade head start on things that you might want to do. And it's not just about, your business plans are fabulous, by the way, every team. It was just inspiring to read and exciting. But this gives you a chance to learn how to get your ideas together and be able to present them out, put it together, and speak to intimidating people. Not that we're intimidating, but, but it is a scary thing to come to a college campus and present like this. And the thing is that people that you may or may not know, your entire life you will be trying to get your ideas across to people who intimidate you. That doesn't change. It just doesn't change. So for you to get a handle on it now in high school and be able to do this, hats off to all of you. It's so cool. And you get to work with these amazing people, Sarah, Rita. It's just wonderful, and I'm so proud to be a part of it. I'm so proud to work with all these people, and I'm proud of all of you. So have a good time. Speak up, please, because we're all deaf.
Thank you, Denise. What a perfect segue. Actually, as we bring up our first team, Vitality Biosciences, and as they come up, I will remind this and all teams, again, to speak into the mic like a pop star. Don't have it down here, because we have our wonderful audiovisual team in the back, our CNSI communications team, that are kind enough to help us live stream this event. So all of your friends and family, you guys can come up and get yourselves ready, so that all of your friends and family who could not be here in person today can still get to see your presentations. They cannot hear you if you are not speaking into the mic. So come on up. Let's get your presentation up, and let's give our first team a round of applause. Let's find, which one is, are you guys, which one was your? Oh, yeah, perfect. There we go. All right. So you guys have 5 minutes. I will be giving you guys hand signals when you have 3, 2, and 1 minute left, and you will hear a timer go off once your 5 minutes are up. And then each team will have about 5 minutes for Q&A from our judges. Yes. You got it? Okay, great.
All right, hello everyone. We are Vitality Biosciences, a research group from Fremont, California. My name is Arjun.
My name is Derek.
I'm Jeffrey.
And I'm Yadu, and this is Vikram. He wasn't able to make it, but he is here with us in spirit, okay? And I want to show you a public experiment. Let's have some fun. So this is artificial turf, and Vikram is running, traveling, and boom. He gets stuck in the artificial turf, and he falls and has a terrible ACL injury. Next slide, please. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly happened? Now, that was artificial turf. Now, artificial turf causes at least 2 non-contact injuries per year, and in the NFL, previous slide, and these injuries can cost up to $500 million for the NFL. And it's not just the NFL, guys. It's high schoolers, it's colleges. Anyone and everyone who uses artificial turf is negatively impacted by this artificial turf. Now, the thing is, we estimated that 1.625 million people are additionally hurt because of this. Now, let's get to the science of this. Next slide, please. So the first thing is artificial turf has high friction. So when you run on it, like we saw in the experiment, the blades of grass hold onto your cleats really well, and that causes friction for your joints. And what I mean by friction, next slide, is the density. The surface doesn't absorb impact well. So for example, when I do this and I want to move, the rotational impact on my joints is so high that it hurts it. And that's what causes the ACL tears. Next slide. And also, we have bacterial growth on the turf. So we would like to give you a sample for us to test. This is part of our 70 samples that we tested in our public search. And if you feel it, it's very abrasive. Now, when you fall on turf, what happens is like this. When you fall, you get a scratch. And that scratch is responsible for bacterial and infectional growth. And we want to solve that. Next slide. And finally, turf surfaces retain a lot of heat. They can go up to 170 degrees Fahrenheit on a normal day, which is like 86.5 degrees Fahrenheit. No one wants to be playing on that. No one. Next slide. And you might be asking, then why do I need artificial turf? Like, I just told you that that's such a bad product, no one wants it, but you really do. The reason why I say this is it's easier to maintain, it's cheaper, and many colleges and high schools can produce it really well. So the unmet need that we're trying to solve is an artificial turf solution that can withstand high heat without deforming, provides better shock absorption, and reduces excessive friction. And that leads us to Vitaliturf.
Now, how exactly does our product work? Well, let me break it down for you from the bottom up. So starting with our base, we have a shock pad which absorbs impact from athletes running across the turf. Our infill layer, right above it, is made of a thermoregulatory linear low-density polyethylene, which helps with heat regulation as well as fluid filtration. Now, onto the artificial blades of grass, we have nano hydrogels. This is the most important aspect of our product, as these nano hydrogels will be able to absorb fluids as well as help lubricate the blades of artificial grass. Now, it is imperative that these are on the nanoscale because of its malleable properties. On a macro scale, these hydrogels will not be able to be shaped around the blades of grass. Incorporated with the nanohydrogels are chitosan nanoparticles, which provide antibacterial properties. And finally, polyethylene terephthalate, or just PET, which provides structural integrity, compressive strength, flexural strength, as well as abrasion resistance. Now, if you remember the turf sample we passed you, those blades were of the M&W type, which are simply shaped like the letters M and W, which provide heat resistance as well as durability. Now, why our product? Well, we listed all these benefits. We have all 6 of these. Now, our natural grass only provides increased shock absorption. Competitors only provide durability, competitors such as AstroTurf. Every other category they are lacking in, while we are the only one that can provide all 6 of these categories. So what are our costs? Well, natural grass costs about $1 million per year to install, and a $2 to $3 million annual maintenance cost. AstroTurf is $2 million installation and $750,000 maintenance costs. We plan on providing a 5,760 square foot sample at about $800,000 and a $1.3 million per college field of artificial turf for football. Now, we recommend that college teams purchase our Vitaliturf at $3 million per field with a $750,000 maintenance cost for every 15 years. Our business plan. We first plan on attaining a patent for our design in the first year, and within that first year and the second year, pitching our product to team owners and athletic directors. Finally, we plan on licensing our product to artificial turf producers at about $10 million per license with a 15% royalty on the revenue. Now, this number is negotiable, but it is a starting base. Now, of course, we aren't limited to just college football teams, but also with the NFL and other sports. So we requested funding of $1 million to provide this first initial sample. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I'm going to grab one of these mics for our judges. I don't know if there's any judge that would like to go first in terms of questions. Sarah?
Okay, so this is a pretty cool idea, but my biggest question is, hydrogels are not mechanically strong. Will your hydrogel survive having a bunch of people tromp all over it?
So the
Yeah.
aspect is, since it's on a nanoscale, we can incorporate into the blades itself, and the blades provide the structural durability because of the plastics that we incorporated. And because of that, we can be sure that it doesn't degrade as well because of the mechanical strength of the blades itself.
So can you, two things. One, can you say a little more about how you would incorporate it? And also, if you can, try to let all members of your team present.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna incorporate plastics into the actual structure, but we're gonna use the we're gonna use the hydrogels as a coating for the plastic that will act as like heat absorption and other stuff.
Appendix F. And in addition, Appendix F. Okay, and if you refer to this picture, we can't play these videos due to time restraints, but in this video, artificial turf is made by stringing or stretching out long layers of plastic, which was essentially what we will be doing, but incorporating nanohydrogels and nanoparticulate catalyst.
So I have a question for you about your sort of cost and pricing aspect there. So you have a better product, but you're charging less than AstroTurf? Is that?
Okay.
What's your price point? And is that cost or is that price?
So basically 800K is the cost to produce, and then 1.3 million is what we're suggesting that the company sell it for.
I'm sorry. Just to clear it up, $1.3 million is the amount it costs to produce about 57,600 square feet. We recommend that our manufacturers who we've licensed this product to sell for $3 million per field for a 231% profit margin.
Okay.
When you say you need $1 million, right? You're asking for $1 million. Where does that $1 million kind of go towards?
So this goes to our research and development facility, which we plan to create at a warehouse, preferably in Houston, Texas. These are the costs that we've analyzed, and it eventually comes out to the million that we put on the slide. I think 800,000 is used for the actual turf production, which will be housed in the location, which will be somewhere near Houston.
So are you paying yourself anything?
So this cost in total, for the $1 million, will be used to produce a sample which we can pitch to potential buyers. And as such, once we have interest, we can start licensing our patent to manufacturers who can then produce our turf. And we are also charging a 15% royalty as well as the initial $10 million licensing fee. So we will be earning passive income over time.
Additionally, we have included wages, as you see on the right side. It has wages, and we've included this in our 1 million cost.
Does that include your wages, or is that just the workers' wages?
Workers' wages.
Okay. You might want to pay yourself something.
We do plan on running a deficit within the first 2 years. That, of course, that number is going to change, but hopefully over time, because of the large market, we are able to appeal to not only college teams, but NFL teams, high school teams, as well as other sports and other countries.
As I pass it on, I say, you do have to eat even while you're developing a company.
Sometimes they don't eat. That's the thing. Two things. The hydrogels are designed to retain liquids. So is this surface more slippery than a conventional AstroTurf?
So the reason it's not slippery, but it's more lubricated. The reason why we say that is the nanoscale of the hydrogels allow us to control how much we use and how much water absorbs.
That's not going to make sense on a sales pitch. It cannot be more lubricative and less slippery. Okay, that's number one. Number two is if licensing is your revenue model, then you got to show, I heard 15% licensing rate, but that's going to be 15% of something. That's what's offset against your cost. So this thing doesn't pencil out if you have a licensing model.
Okay, sorry, I might have been slightly unclear earlier. Just to go over it again, we plan on licensing our product to manufacturers for $10 million and then charging a 15% royalty on their revenue over time. This 15% is negotiable.
All right, thank you guys. Not easy being first, so well done. Great job. All right, next team up, that would be Jasmine Skin. Alrighty. This is you guys, right? Yep. Here. Here you go.
Oh, we have to share.
You can take mine. I'll share.
And then I'll share it. Yeah, I'll give it to David.
You can just take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. No, we'll share.
Not up.
Hello everyone, we're from Kennedy High School in Granada Hills, and my name is Sophie. Natalie.
Jaitlyn. Marianne.
David.
Introducing Now Skincare, science for your skin in every drop using our gold nanoparticles. In recent years, we've seen the immense growth of social media, and we've noticed that skin concerns can affect so much more than just your skin. We've seen that people suffering from acne, hyperpigmentation, and sun damage have feelings of depression, social anxiety, and other psychosocial impairments. And although the current treatments for these skin concerns are somewhat effective, they pose major drawbacks like redness, sun sensitivity, and irritation that make customers hesitate their purchase. Our approach to treating these issues is now.
We have an innovative 3-step process featuring our gold nano serum. We will produce this using green synthesis that is soothing to your skin. We will encapsulate vitamin C in the gold nanoparticles, which will help treat hyperpigmentation, fight acne, and clear sun damage. We will pair this with our light therapy mask using red light to activate the gold nanoparticles. Then this will be followed up with our nano silver and salicylic acid spot treatment for further treatment of acne. Our scientific approach uses green synthesis. Instead of chemical synthesis, we use biological bases such as aloe vera, which has been proven to be soothing to the skin and creates trust among our consumers. We will use light therapy at the range of 600 to 650 nanometers, which has been proven to have maximum absorption for the best results.
The U.S. skincare market is valued at approximately $28 billion, and this was in 2023. This number is expected to grow to $50 billion. Additionally, people are looking for high-end natural and organic ingredients, which we aim to provide. We also have discovered that social media discovery is driving purchases of products on e-commerce. As you can see here, 55% of people have bought products online after social media discovery. Our material costs are $45, and this is for production of all 3 products, including packaging. We have 2 marketing sales strategies. This is our direct sales for $200 for all 3 products, and our subscription price, which is $65 a month for 12 months, which means that our consumers will be getting a serum and a spot treatment monthly shipped to them. And this includes a free phototherapy mask gifted. We also plan to partner with paid ad partnerships with influencers on Instagram and Facebook because, as we said, they have been proven to be successful in marketing, and we'll also be using traditional methods as well.
Well, when we compare the market, we see that our product now is much more effective compared to our competitors. The reason why is because we have enhanced performance. Our product is also scientifically based and technologically based. Our product consists of nanotechnology, we have nano gold and nano silver. And then after all, when we compare the cost, if you get the $65 subscription, yearly it will go to $780 compared to our competitors whose approximate cost annually is $2,000.
And here's our business timeline we're planning on achieve. For our first year, we'll mainly focus on developing products and clinical testing for our patient application, and our marketing strategy will mainly be social media and immersive contract manufacturers, and we're aiming for 1,500 sales. For our second to third years, we'll have a more aggressive marketing, research new products, clinical studies, manufacturing plans, and our target will be 30,000 sales. For our fourth years and the years after that, we'll have full product range, manufacturing facilities, 100,000 sales per year, along as international expansion. As you can see on this graph, we have direct sales, subscription, and project sales, which add up to $2 million in sales by the third years. So our goal between the fifth and seventh years will be capture at least 1% of market share, which is $500 million in sales. So to create this amazing products, we'll need at least 500,000 Ks and for your investment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, questions?
Okay, so I guess my first question is, so you have these gold particles and you're going to make some composite with ascorbic acid and then you're going to heat them and release that. Why is that better than just putting straight ascorbic acid on your face?
Oh, well, if you just did straight ascorbic acid, your skin would probably have adverse effects because it would be a too high concentration. And as far as our other competitors that put ascorbic acid just in like a liquid base, this leads it to oxidation and lower effectivency, while putting it in the gold nanoparticles helps keep it from oxidation.
Increases shelf life.
Yeah.
So the idea is to protect the ascorbic acid, because ascorbic acid is pretty stable.
Oh, it's very unstable.
And cheap.
Yeah.
It's unstable.
Yeah. So in skincare, like a concern that we found among our research is that over time the skincare product would degrade and we'd see less and less effectiveness on the skin, versus when it's encapsulated in the nano gold particles, it was shown to have a longer shelf life, keeping its effectiveness and high potency effects such as brightening and fighting acne.
Okay, I have one more question. So to start with my bias, I'm a chemist, so I don't think chemistry is bad. But how is reduction of chloroauric acid not chemical synthesis?
Well, it's also part of our marketing strategy to use the aloe vera because it's a very trusted ingredient among the skincare industry, and it had less adverse effect compared to other ingredients that we could use as like...
Is that your reductant?
Yeah, the aloe vera.
Okay.
Well, that kind of covered it. But back to your talking about your testing. How do you guys figure you'll go about your testing? Because when you're talking about skincare and acne and might have open lesions, things like that. So how are you going to approach it, and what part of your budget is allocated for that?
Okay, so we need 30,000 for the trials and experimentation, but it's not exactly like a drug, so it's not going to be as complex as like the testing isn't going to be as complex. So it's just going to be like a few months, maybe like 2 months maybe, for clinical testing.
So I was reading through your business plan, and I had a question or confusion there. It seems like the treatment lasts for 6 months. Is that?
No, that's the like expiration. That's when already like the vitamin C begins to oxidize because it's unstable. But it's a 1 ounce product, so it's gonna last about a month.
About a month. So that's why you have the 1 month subscription fee.
Yes.
Okay. And then, but I was confused by the subscription versus the direct sale.
Right. So the subscription it includes a free phototherapy mask, which would have driven up the price for the direct sales. Also, it's kind of like a loyalty thing, and ensures like that people will continuously buy our product.
We also chose the subscription plan because it makes a more financially viable approach versus like the $200 all at once. Our large market is going to be youth and like young adults, and so this makes it more appealing for them. There's already a lot of subscription companies, but they're not tailored to specific skin concerns. So we're tailoring our skincare for people with acne and people that worry about dark spots and skin damage, and this just makes it more reliable, and versus going out in the store every month to buy your skincare, we're going to ship it for you.
Okay. Do other skincare companies provide it via subscription basis, or are you doing something novel here?
There are a few, but it's not very many, because mainly they sell like in Sephora and Ulta, and those stores don't really do subscription.
And most other subscription bases will give you like samples of products, so they're just random and not tailored to your specific skincare concerns.
Maybe like a gift in a bag or something like that.
So quick question. Your subscription price is $65 a month. Are you shipping them all 3 products like once a month?
Oh, so the serum and the spot treatment's going to be shipped, but the mask, like the phototherapy mask, it's reusable, of course. So that's not going to be shipped. That's just like a free gift, like it's a one-time thing, and then afterwards, it's only the 2 products.
So what is your cost for the subscription per year? I get your total revenue, but what is your cost for the year?
Was it back? My bad.
It was 780.
No. So that's the cost of consumer, right?
Annually, like, because monthly it's going to be $65.
Correct. How much does it cost you to produce and to deliver?
So it's going to be $45, and this includes like production of all 3 products and
For the full year?
No, for like 3 products.
All right, so how much is it going to cost you to provide $780 worth of value per year to your customer?
We have a 40% profit margin. I don't know the exact numbers that would be on our business plan.
So keep in mind that a direct sale to consumer costs a lot of money for marketing and whatnot. And typically beauty products have a very, very high gross margin, right, to offset the customer acquisition cost. So I'm sure you have it somewhere in terms of marketing. I think I only saw like $10,000 for your marketing. You're going to have to go way, way, way more than that.
Okay. Oh, I think this cost included like the sales through our distributors, because like the actual cost of just the raw materials and production was far less. It was like $30.
All right, thank you guys. All right, Team Nano Liner.
Hi, I'm Caleb Altman.
I'm Jacob Gilstein.
I'm Jack Tan.
And I'm Yasha Shah. And together, we are Nano Liner, a prosthetic liner addition that helps to prevent friction-based rashes and sweat-based rashes. Here's the problem. According to the National Library of Medicine, 72% of amputees experience discomfort from their prosthetic liner, of which 31% of them reject wearing the liner entirely. The cause of this problem? The prosthetic liner itself, made from high-friction silicone, causes all of these friction burns and rashes to occur on the surface of the skin. Yikes, am I right? However, it gets even worse. Excessive sweating within the liner causes the formation of salt crystals, which rub against the skin and create open wounds, allowing for bacteria and other harmful microbes to exploit this injury. This creates deleterious infections, which causes even more rashes. If only there was a way to make prosthetics and wearing them more tolerable.
Well, Yasha, there certainly is one way. Nano Liner. It is over here. It solves both sweat-based and friction-based rashes, and it's composed of a PAA cellulose silica hydrogel, which is responsible for absorbing the sweat, zinc oxide nanoparticles to kill the harmful bacteria. Oh, sorry. Is this good? Yeah. Sorry. Zinc oxide nanoparticles to kill the harmful bacteria on the skin, and the PTFE fabric to prevent the gel from eroding. Let's begin with the PAA nanogel. The PAA nanogel consists of cross-linked polyacrylic acids, and when exposed to a pH above 4.5, like the pH of 6, shown in this diagram, which is the pH of sweat, which is 6, it swells to a size 3 times larger than any other nanogel in the market, giving it a higher surface area and making it much more effective compared to other nanogels. Now the cellulose. The cellulose contains cellulose nanofibers, which are in charge of the sweat storage that the PAA absorbs, and the PAA absorbs. You can see in this diagram that the cellulose forms an IPN with the PAA, which is represented by the TOCN here, and they are entangled together. This allows the cellulose nanofibers to extract the sweat that the PAA absorbs and store it for up to 3 months due to water's adhesive properties. Now we have the silica nanoparticles, which provide mechanical strength to these gels. As you can see here, silica nanoparticles are used in many IPNs, like PAA chitosan, as shown in this diagram. These so-called nanoparticles are in the open spaces of this diagram, and they give it a 3D structure and allow it to withstand 42 megapascals of pressure. And look at this, it can withstand a lot of pressure. Lastly, we have the zinc oxide nanoparticles. They're going to be along the silica nanoparticles, and they're kind of our new component. They're going to be evenly distributed about the gel, and zinc oxide nanoparticles are well known in the medical community for killing harmful bacteria while being biocompatible with the skin. All right, and this is our diagram over here. So this is our updated IPN according to this recent study. The black is the PAA, the red is the cellulose, and the white is the zinc oxide nanoparticles. And this IPN makes up one nanogel, and these nanogels are strategically configured to form a 3D structured hydrogel. Now we have the PTFE fabric, the boring part, which surrounds the hydrogel and has a low coefficient of friction so that the prosthetic liner doesn't rub against the gel over time and degrade it.
Here is a pie chart about materials and cost of our product. Nano Liner costs around $5 to produce, and we will sell it for $22 per unit, giving us a profit margin of 75.5%. Our target market will include prosthetic clinics, drugstores such as CVS, and medical centers. We'll also plan to sell it directly to the consumer through our website. Our projected market cap is $12.2 billion. Our competitors are friction patches, anti-chafing cream, and expensive liners. In the area of lifespan, Nano Liner stays around 3 months, and in the price, Nano Liner only costs $22 compared to $35 or even $500. Make Nano Liner the most affordable option. Also, Nano Liner is the only product that reduce friction, absorb sweat, and prevent evacuation, which make Nano Liner the best product for prosthetic users.
Here's a timeline of our first 3 years in business. In our first year, we plan to further improve our prototype and file our utility patent. And this year, we plan to pre-sell 500 units of Nano Liner. In our second year, we plan to begin official manufacturing and marketing of our product with 1,500 units sold. In our third year, we plan to ramp up production and prepare for the years to come, stocking up on stock and adding more employees. We plan to sell 3,000 units this year. In total, we will be asking for $4 million for our first 3-year investment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just hand it to me. Okay, so you've really thought about a lot of the components, and that's very good. My question is, if it's a hydrogel, it's wet all the time. You say that the zinc oxide will prevent infection, but anything that's wet all the time tends to grow bacteria. So can you comment on that?
Yeah, so basically, the formation of infections is our primary concern. So infections, like detailed in the first presentation,
Ice cream cone.
They usually form when there's an open wound on the skin, right? And so when there's an open wound due to the rubbing of salt crystals of sweat against the skin, the zinc oxide nanoparticles are there to prevent the harmful bacteria from infiltrating that wound. So before the bacteria can kind of exploit it, like Yasha was detailing earlier, the bacteria is going to die. And zinc oxide is used in like many applications as a gel and other things, so it's going to reliably prevent those like harmful infections from forming.
I'm just curious, this is an interesting topic. And what inspired you guys to think about amputees?
Well, the real big thing that inspired us, I think, is when we were having a bake sale to raise money for our club. And what happened was one of our friends, he dislocated his knee during the bake sale. And that got us thinking about, like, how can we improve medical equipment related to the lower body, which eventually got us, with our personal experience, to prosthetics and tackling the problem that amputees have.
I'm always amazed when people have a better product and they sell it for cheaper. All right. Can you comment about your pricing scheme there? And
Yeah, Jack, can you start and then I'll elaborate further? Yeah.
So our raw material is cost about $5.28, and we will include shipping, and which we sell it as bulk, which will be $0.1, and we'll include labor and industrialized, and everything we included in the selling price will still give us a profit margin of 70%.
Okay.
Yeah, and also when we, sorry. Jen.
I was just going to say, but your competitors are more expensive and they're worse.
Yes, they are. So because we're just releasing our product, we want to attract consumers. So when we direct to consumers, like really competitive business, we want our price on the shelf to be lower than others to first attract consumers. It's kind of like a way of advertising. They see our product, they buy it. Then as our product gets more popular, then we increase the prices and we will increase our profit. We will increase the number of units we manufacture and the number of stores we go to.
And to add on to Jacob, we are in one component, we actually last for only a month. Some of these products do last for longer than us. So in majority of the ways, yes, we are a better product. However, because we are novel, we want to make sure that we can have a tactical advantage in the market.
Okay. Just know, customers don't like it when you raise prices.
I mean, it worked with Uber, right?
Have you thought about how you want to approach the market? I know you're trying to work with UCLA Health and whatnot. Have you thought about, as you said, about going to direct to consumer? How do you think about going direct to consumer, and what methodologies would you approach?
So we would obviously utilize social media marketing, as it's an on the rise type of marketing, and so many people are using social media to buy new products that they haven't seen before. And we just plan on attending trade shows and really getting our name out there.
And to add on this, we say we're gonna directly attacking the consumers, but our main target is going to be clinics or like medical center, since people go there to like get the prosthetic. So we go there and they make a set with prosthetic users, then we'll sell our pad to them like in the medical centers.
So keep in mind, if you sell through a middleman distributor, they're going to want to make money too. So what are you selling to, like to a CVS, for example? Are you selling for $22? You're selling for $10? You're selling for more?
Well, we'd probably sell it for less, or else there wouldn't be a tactical advantage to buy it through us directly. But in regards to that, what we're planning to do is we first want to establish relations initially with our market and with these middlemen distributors. And through that, we will then conduct more testing and determine the nuts and bolts of our product. That way we can ensure that we do have a tactical advantage and that we are the product that we say we are.
So you better factor that into how much money you need, right? Because you're not actually going to make as much money as you think.
Yes.
The margin is going to be less.
Yeah, and just one more thing I wanted to add. For example, if we're like our manufacturing facilities are located in China. So for example, if we have our own website and users can input their address for the product to be sold, that the China directly exports it to their address. So we won't have a middleman when it comes to our website. They'll just put in their address and that product will come straight to their house. So we're kind of going to have a website, we're going to have pharmacies, and we're going to have prosthetic clinics. We really want to broaden our audience.
All right, thank you guys. All right, Team Easy Breathe. No, here we go. Just put all these on. Make sure all the mics are on. Are they green? Yeah. Just one reminder again for everyone to speak into the mic like a pop star. Do not hold it here so we can hear you. All right.
Hello, we're Team Easy Breathe. My name is Isaac Vargas.
My name is Danny Hernandez.
My name's Kimberly Robles.
My name's Mateo Risco.
And my name is Tom Transcu.
Every person with asthma, young and old, will be able to have a faster, more efficient, and longer-lasting treatment thanks to our product. When I was younger, I was in the hospital for 2 weeks because of an asthma attack that was caused by a dog. I remember having to carry my inhaler around just because of what happened. I live in Anaheim, California, in a disadvantaged neighborhood circled in red on the top map. Disadvantaged communities have higher asthma rates than other parts of our city circled in red on the bottom map. These are disadvantaged communities because of high air pollution that comes from factories, transportation, and landfills. We may not know exactly the cause of asthma, but we do know some factors such as smoke, pet dander, pollen, and air pollution, which all trigger asthma attacks. According to the CDC, every 1 in 13 people in the U.S. have been diagnosed with asthma. This means that over 26 million people that in the U.S. live with asthma.
Our product, Easy Breathe Pro, will relax the muscles in your airways in approximately 3 seconds. This will prevent bronchospasm, which is the tightness in the muscles in your airways. This makes our meter dose inhaler more efficient and reliable for people with asthma. Our product has breakthrough technology that no one else in the market has. Now, how does it work? First of all, when the medicine gets sprayed into your mouth, the PLGA that carries the albuterol gets through your airways. It works by relaxing the muscles in the bronchi, which are the airways leading from the trachea to the lungs. This results to opening up your air passages to the lungs, making it easier to breathe.
There are 5 steps to make our product. The first step is to dissolve albuterol sulfate and PLGA together in acetone, which is our stabilizer. Then we use a sonic dismembrator to break down the particles to nanosize through vibration. Third step is to put the particles through a centrifuge to separate the liquids and the solids. And we use a special type of vacuum to remove any excess liquid. Finally, the synthesization process is done and we can transfer the albuterol-loaded PLGA nanoparticles into an inhaler canister. The size of the albuterol-loaded polylactic glycolic acid nanoparticle allows it to travel deeper into the lungs because it's smaller and has a higher surface area. The albuterol effect would last longer because of PLGA's sustained release capabilities. It'll release the albuterol for a longer period of time. It will break through mucus barriers and hit more inflamed areas that are found deeper in the lungs. PLGA is FDA approved, so it is safe to be inhaled into your body.
Our MDI inhaler will be marketed to the 26 million people that live with asthma in the United States. Based upon CDC reports, asthma prevalence has increased from 21 million in 2004 to 25 million in 2020, with a 63% growth in albuterol prescriptions. The U.S. market is expected to increase from $4.5 billion in 2021 to $20 billion in 2030, at a compound annual growth of 18%. Based on the projected market growth, the estimated market in 2028 would be at $14 billion. This would be our first year going into market. Our goal would be to capture 0.5% of the U.S. market at $70 million. We would have to produce 740,000 inhalers at a selling price of $95.
In the first year, we will focus on product development with animal testing, and we will start clinical study phase 1 and market research. And at the end of the year, we'll file for the patent. In year 2, We will focus on clinical trial phase 2 and testing with the larger sample population, and we will also expect to have the patent finalized. In years 3 and 4, we'll focus on the final phase of our clinical trials and testing on a larger, more diverse sample populations, and expect to receive FDA approval. In years 5 and 6, we'll switch to go-to-market and create discounted opportunities for low-income patients. And we will also look to mass produce and grow our share of market. We have estimated our startup costs for year 1 to be approximately $570,000. Our future plans are to extend it to new markets and create a reusable mouthpiece and cap to be more sustainable, with the medicine cartridge sold separately. And we will also use alternative gas propellants or dry powder albuterol to reduce greenhouse gases.
Thank you for listening to our pitch.
You guys are really in the 7th grade? I'm extremely impressed. This is amazing work for young people your age. Just to simplify, I'm the non-scientist in the group, but simply, you are encapsulating albuterol inside PLGA. Is that basically what you're doing here? Yeah. Okay. I think you should say that right up front. And have the albuterol in a little tiny diagram. Your visual aids are very good. And I think I got it, unlike some of the others, but I think I got it. But I think that particular diagram would have helped you. Question about the patenting. What do you expect to patent out as? Is it the encapsulation? Because PLGA and albuterol are both well known here.
Wait, can I hear you again, actually?
Phase 1, just a little point of interest for all students. You can't patent if something is already in process for sale, and I guess this isn't for sale yet, but albuterol is known, PLGA is known. What's patentable here?
The encapsulation?
So, okay, so I have a bunch of technical questions. So is PLGA used in inhalers, like in steroid-based inhalers?
I think it's been used in a few inhalers, but it's been mainly tested with drug delivery for the lungs. So we do know that it works and it's safe to be inhaled.
Okay, so it is established for lung inhalation.
Diseases, yeah.
So then my other question is, it's two related questions. What form is albuterol currently in standard albuterol inhalers? And then albuterol is usually what people call an emergency inhaler, something to open your lungs really fast. And so will the encapsulation, it's small, will that make it slower or faster? Because it's got to get out of the encapsulant.
It would make it faster because it's a smaller particle and it's a thinner layer than like a regular one. So it wouldn't take like the normal 6 weeks or something that PLGA takes to fully degrade.
And then what form is normal albuterol in an inhaler? Is it just pure albuterol?
I think it's just pure albuterol with a few other stuff, but I'm not quite sure on what everything else is.
Okay, other question?
I just want to say, what is your name who had asthma?
Isaac.
Hats off to you, because to have something that affected all of your life, your young life, to then use that to inspire your friends and inspire everyone here with creativity and trying to find ways to make the world better so that people don't suffer like you did. And that's really amazing. Is there, I missed it, a photo of what it would look like?
The actual product?
The inhaler. Did you have that? How is it?
I don't think there was a photo.
How
of
do
the
you?
inhaler, but there's a
How
photo
is it
of-
presented?
There's a
Oh,
photo
it's a
of how
normal
the
inhaler.
airways look.
Okay, done. That was great, guys. Great.
Thank you.
I'm always curious about competition. And so when you say this is more efficient and faster and more effective, how much more efficient or effective is it than a standard one? And then you priced yours at $95 per inhaler. What's the current price points?
The current price point. The current price points of inhaler is around $85 to $110, and the reason it's more efficient is because the PLGA is really small, so it could get like deeper into the lungs. So it gets into some spots which other inhalers can't get to, so it could clear it up for longer.
But how much more? Like, are we talking about minutes, hours, days? Like, what's the effective rate of the current inhaler?
We aren't sure about the current effective rate of an inhaler, but we do know that the particle is really light, so it will move regularly and faster as you breathe. It won't take much effort to move.
So just as a piece of advice, from what I think I know about inhalers, is that my guess is it's probably not faster, but it has the potential to be more effective because it can reach smaller airways. And so instead of arguing for fast, I might argue for effectiveness. And in an emergency inhaler, effectiveness is actually the most important thing. So that's a good way to just twist your argument a bit.
Well done. Thank you. All right, our last team before we take a quick break is Team Aerotech. And I think you guys probably sent me your presentation as one of these somewhere, but I'm not sure which one. So I'm just going to be opening. Is it one of these? This one? Okay, great. Perfect. Back, and then this is the laser pointer, the green one. Yeah, those should all. Yeah, those two are on. This one's not, but it seems like there's only two of you right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just wanted to mention 2 of our members could not make it today.
Okay.
So, have you ever had a flight delayed or canceled at the last minute? If so, the culprit behind this inconvenience might be a phenomenon known as aircraft icing. At high altitudes, airplanes face sub-zero temperatures, which causes moisture from the air to freeze on the plane's surface and form an icy buildup. Even at ground level, icing may occur due to cold weather conditions, especially in the months between October and April. Now, icing harms aircraft performance by increasing drag and reducing lift, and it has also been the cause of many plane crashes over the years. According to the Federal Aviation Administration, over 50 crashes have occurred due to icing alone within the last decade. So these major issues posed by icing makes it a necessity for airlines to invest in de-icing and anti-icing products. Currently, many airlines use chemicals called de-icing or anti-icing fluids to remove or prevent ice buildup. However, these chemicals can cost up to $10,000 per application, and the runoff pollutes our roads, soils, and waterways. Other existing solutions include pneumatic de-icing boots, electrothermal heating, and bleed air heating, but each comes with certain disadvantages ranging from high energy consumption to inadequate performance at melting ice.
This is where our innovation comes in. We created Lotus, a super hydrophobic aluminum aircraft skin coating. It is inspired by the super hydrophobicity of a lotus leaf. The super hydrophobicity of a lotus leaf stems from the distinctive nanostructures found on its surface, including papillae and wax tubules that protrude outwards to minimize contact area between water droplets and the surface of the leaf. Inspired by this, Lotus features a 32 micrometer tall sheet of aluminum with 18 micrometer tall nanostructures protruding from its surface to mimic the surface of a lotus leaf. Lotus will be applied to the key surfaces of a plane, such as the fins, wings, and tail, because they have the most risk from aircraft icing. For a standard Boeing 737 plane, Lotus will weigh an additional 65.8 kilograms of mass. Lotus will be produced using roll-to-roll nanoimplantlithography. This process creates nanostructures on metal surfaces by continually pressing it against a pattern mold as it is processed between a set of rollers.
This process is easily scalable for mass production, ensuring that low-dice can be produced at a steady rate without compromising any precision. Now let's discuss our business plan. Lotus's early stages will include extensive research and testing to create a durable and effective coating. Once our prototype is developed, rigorous testing involving various coating compositions and application processes can be carried out under different environmental conditions in wind tunnels. Next, we'll introduce Lotus to non-passenger aircraft such as drones and model airplanes for real-world testing and validation. Since we plan to expand to larger aircrafts, we'll continue to seek certification from the Federal Aviation Administration and patent our product. Following our certification, Lotus will expand to commercial aircrafts as we establish our own factories, and due to the efficiency of roll-to-roll nano-implanthography, we can minimize the number of machines as well as the startup costs needed. We'll produce and sell the tiles to manufacturing companies who will then apply our product onto the surfaces of aircrafts. Including the cost of production, rent, machinery testing, and all other considerations, we would need $50.9 million for our first 3 years of operations. We hope to rely on federal and private grants, crowdfundings, and sponsorships from generous investors to fund our early efforts. Although once our company gets off the ground, we'll quickly make large enough profit margins to manage to sustain our business in the long run. We aim to sell our product at a price of $500 per tile, representing only a marginal increase from the raw production cost of $214 per tile. For consumers to purchase the 20 tiles needed to cover a standard size plane, they need to spend $10,000, just roughly the same amount as the cost of a single application of de-icing fluid. Once we start selling to commercial aircrafts, then if we can capture just 5% of the current market, we can expect to sell 25,000 tiles to cover 1,250 planes within our first year for an initial profit of $7.50 million, ensuring high profits that can grow even further as our company continues to expand.
Lotus offers several key advantages over our competitors. We utilize low-cost manufacturing processes, and our solution does not require constant reapplication, consume energy, or produce waste. Lotus offers the best of all worlds, cutting costs, promising sustainability, and ultimately ensuring the highest quality of flight for all passengers. Thank you.
Okay, I'll start with the science question. So water droplets very effectively beat up on nano-rough surfaces if they have the right surface wetting characteristics. But that's not the same as ice nucleation when things are frozen. So what can you tell us? I mean, it's possible that a rough surface actually would provide nucleation sites for ice. So what can you tell us about ice interactions with a nano-rough surface as opposed to liquid water interactions with a nano-rough surface?
So we base this on literature we've read, and there have been many tests where they've tested supercooled water droplets onto these surfaces with nanostructures, and they observed that the droplets still roll off before they can freeze on the surface.
Okay, so if you have supercooled water, it'll roll off.
Yep.
I guess I'm not sure
Okay,
how
are you
ice
talking about, like,
nucleates on an airplane wing.
snowflakes?
Snowflakes or...
So the only reason why a snowflake would stick onto the surface is once it starts melting. But once it starts melting, it won't be able to it won't have enough time to refreeze on the surface because the nanostructures will allow the water droplets to roll off.
You never get direct nucleation of ice out of vapor in the air? Because you can go between all water, vapor, water, and ice. You can go directly between any two of those. So ice, I don't know how ice forms on airplane wings. I'm honestly asking questions. Does ice ever directly form from the air onto airplane wings?
There would be supercooled water droplets in the air that drop onto the surface. Or like in the case of snow, they would already be frozen in that state.
Okay, other questions?
I think part of your testing, you might want to look at what failure analysis occurs, right? Because I can imagine over time it may not be as hydrophobic as it was when you first built it, right?
Right, and that's exactly why we sell it in tiles so that they can easily be replaced. We also need to part of our testing will be testing different patterns of nanostructures, as we've read literature where they've tested with like honeycomb nanostructures or just simple protrusions, and they observed different effectiveness based on what pattern they used.
Do you have any assessment as to how long one of these surfaces would last for? You know?
No, that you would need to test for that.
Yeah, because that could come into, the airline would have to actually pull the plane, right, every time they replace a tile, and so that's downtime
Right.
for the plane and things of that nature. So
Right.
our cost implications of that.
Have you seen similar coatings tested by the FAA? FAA has very stringent testing. Technical support orders are called for components on an airplane. Are any competitive products gone through that process?
The only time we've seen this similar nanostructure pattern put on metals was with nonstick pans. We have not seen it on planes yet.
Okay. If you go further with this, think of the FAA, Federal Aviation Administration. They'll have a lot to say about this, because this is a well-known and problem, and FAA is really looking at it, and this is something I haven't seen yet.
Just to mention, sorry, we have seen this, like NASA has been trying to develop something for their spacecrafts, mostly for their dust repellent qualities, as the Lotus effect. Also, as water droplets roll off, it can take dust off with them, and it has a self-cleaning property to it. So we've seen it being developed for spacecraft use, but not for commercial airlines.
Have you thought of, once they buy the tile, who's installing them? Are you installing them? How much does it cost to install it?
So we are not installing it directly. We are selling the tiles to airline manufacturers who will install it themselves. And we recommend epoxy for the installation.
By the way, I've actually seen companies who just pitched me de-icing on a plane. So frankly, this is probably a little bit more practical, if it actually works in science.
Thank you.
And let's give a hand to, oh no, you're fine. You just set it down. That's okay. And a hand for all first 5 of our presentations. Well done. So we're gonna take approximately 5-minute break. If the next team to go up after the break, which is Noka, if you guys could be ready, maybe like 11:23. We're gonna start right at 11:25.
right, if we could have everyone settle back in, we're going to continue on with our presentations.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Any of these. Yep.
All right, once everyone has filed in, let's keep going with our next team, Team Noka.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. So we are Noa Tape. We're the Noka team from the Valley Academy of Arts and Sciences, and I'm Kayla.
I'm Noor.
I'm Laura.
I'm Maria.
I'd like to introduce you all to Kelton. Kelton loves to ride bikes. One day while riding his bike, he started experiencing muscle pain in his back. He went to his local pharmacy where he found 3 different types of pain relievers, the first of which was oral. He didn't want to take it because he knew it would not be localized, rather it'd be systemic, and he knew some of the drug would be lost in his digestive process. The second of which is topical. He didn't want to use topical because it caused him rashes and would stick to his clothes. And the third was kinesiology tape, which was developed to allow for pain relief without the use of medication, but he knew it would not be fast or efficient enough.
Kelton is experiencing a problem that many athletes face when choosing a treatment plan to aid in their muscle pain. So our team developed Noa Tape. What is Noa Tape? Noa Tape is a combination of kinesiology tape and microneedles delivering over-the-counter medication. There are 3 elements of Noa Tape. The first being the kinesiology tape. The kinesiology tape, like other athletic tapes on the market, will be made of 100% cotton, and the fibers in the tape will help it to mimic the elasticity of the skin. It will support the muscles without inhibiting the movement, which will allow athletes to move as they play. The next component are the microneedles. The microneedles will be made of all FDA-approved and biocompatible ingredients, and it will help it dissolve into the skin for a targeted delivery of the area. This also means that it's a controlled release, as it will dissolve over the span of an hour. The treatment is also completely pain-free because it only pierces the outside crust or the epidermis of the skin, not the dermis where the pain receptors are located. The drug being delivered is ibuprofen, a common over-the-counter anti-inflammatory medication. The medication will be encapsulated in polylactic co-glycolic acid, or PLGA, which will allow it to go through the skin and dissolve. This is our model. The blue represents the kinesiology tape, and the white represents the microneedle patches.
Now moving more towards the business plan and especially our timeline. In the first year, we hope to hire our employees, buy our equipment, and rent our factory. We also hope to begin our research and development, which is going to last throughout those 6 years. In the second year, we hope to manufacture our first batch and launch our market campaign. In the third year, we hope to collect feedback and implement those changes. In the fourth year, we hope to expect profit, and in the 6th year, we hope to expand our market to international businesses. Now moving more towards the finances. So we split our finances into 2 parts: the startup cost, which is $36,000 USD, and the cost for estimated sales volume per year, which is $491,000 US, which comes to a yearly total of $527,000 US, and for this whole 6 years, it's going to be $2.6 million. In terms of future plans, we hope to expand to different aspects. So firstly, we hope to expand our market into Europe and Asia, and we hope to move past ibuprofen to allow for vitamins and minerals, and through vitamins and minerals, we hope to offer subscriptions. And then we also hope to integrate technology and allow for consumer customization. So essentially, the consumers would be able to kind of complain to this AI, and then the AI will match them to a vitamin or a mineral or a drug. So what happened to Kelton? Kelton remembers seeing an influencer talk about Noa Tape. It is easier than taking pills because he'd only have to apply it once a day. The microneedles will steadily release the medication, easy and pain-free. Soon after he applies it, he starts to feel better. If you want to use Noa just like Kelton did, then please scan our QR code to visit the website. Thank you. Can we take any questions?
So there is one, I'm sitting here trying to remember the name of it. There is, ibuprofen is an NSAID, a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory. And there is one common cream-based NSAID, Voltaren, that can be applied just to the surface of the skin without microneedles. So what are the advantages of the microneedle-based version versus, I don't know why Voltaren can work on the skin, but why is, microneedles seem a lot more complicated and expensive than just a cream?
Well, I'm not sure specifically on that type of NSAID, but I know that topical creams can have a harder time getting through the skin because of the stratum corneum, I think that's how you pronounce it, the outer crust of the epidermis. And we researched other types of topical creams, and they weren't as effective because it couldn't get through the skin as easily.
I had a question in your business plan about the assumptions you had, with especially the marketing. I think you stated there that 76% of people who saw your ad online would buy your product. That seems high.
So the reason where we got this from is we were looking at different types of like literature and different types of people who researched this and saw where that came from, and they kind of divided it up. So the total amount of people who saw the ad, 76% of them ended up buying the product, but it was over time. So I don't remember exactly the numbers, but I think 11% bought it directly. Some of them bought it later. So it was not they saw it and they bought it directly, but it was mostly over time. So in total, like after they saw the ad, they bought that product because they saw the ad. So 76% of people bought that product because they saw the ad.
Okay, you may also want to factor that they probably saw the ad 10,000 times before they actually made the purchase, right? And so when it gets into your direct costs associated with your marketing, you have to factor in how many times they have to actually see an ad before they actually buy, because that all comes into the marketing costs.
What's the comparison between kind of what your product costs versus some other product cost? Do you have you looked into kind of the comparative landscape that you're going to be marketing against, and how much better do you have to, you have obviously you're marketing that you're a better product, right? But just curious to see, have you done the market analysis?
So we have, and our unit cost came out to $25 with a 20% profit margin, and which is a lot more expensive, or like it's about double the cost of regular KT tape per unit, and then the ibuprofen as well. But since we're marketing it as 2-in-1, it'll be about, we estimate it to be about around the same cost if you were to buy both of those products.
20% gross margin, if that's what you're saying, you're selling for 25, your cost is 20. That's a very thin margin for any consumer product. So you might want to think about that. Because marketing costs, as he mentioned, and there's also kind of, if you're selling it through a distributor or a big box like a Walmart, Best Buy, and Target, they're going to also want to make some money. So you might want to factor that into how you think about how much you should charge and how much, maybe bring the cost down or just make a better comparison.
Number one, does the QR code work?
Yes, it works.
Okay.
You can
Gotta
try.
get my phone out. And I'm always interested in just talking about presentation. What was the impetus or the inspiration for you? Had someone been injured, or how did you come to this?
So last semester, I'm on the dance team, and last semester I got a really bad knee injury, and so I was just using KT tape, but I don't like taking medication or pills because I don't know how to swallow them, and so I was just struggling with it, and so we came up with this idea, if like we was able to be put on transdermally, then it would like solve my problem.
Can I ask super fast? Yeah. How do you integrate microneedles into cotton tape?
Oh, so we're planning to have it, the microneedles on a separate patch, which will then be we'll use like a glue to bond it onto the tape itself.
But then do you ruin the stretchy properties of the cotton tape, which is the whole sort of point of the KT tape?
No, because the way we're designing it, since it's gonna be in like really small patches like polka dots, there are other parts of the tape will be stretched.
All right, well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Team Carbon Catch and Recraft. Just gonna turn all these on so you know they're on.
Hello, we're Carbon Catch and Recraft, and we're from Howard Middle School. My name is Pari.
I'm Elizabeth.
I'm Nitra.
I'm Nirvan.
I'm Isaline. We face an urgent global demand for efficient carbon capture solutions. The market, currently valued at $2.1 billion in 2022 and projected to reach $7.5 billion by 2032, demands innovative solutions for capturing CO2 from power plant exhausts. Savante, a leading company in this field, offers products such as the USA 1000 and 2000 for CO2 capture. Supporting these advancements is crucial for a more sustainable and environmentally friendly future. Next slide. Our solution is a reusable, eco-friendly hybrid filter which possesses dual transport pathways using metal organic framework and polymer. This filter will be designed to capture CO2 efficiently. Once captured, the CO2 will be transformed into chalk, a critical element in cement production. This industry alone contributes 8% of global CO2 emissions, which is triple the emissions of the aviation industry. This innovative approach not only addresses CO2 emissions, but also supports sustainable industrial practices, paving the way for a greener future. This animation on the right illustrates the molecules from industrial exhaust flowing through the polymer metal organic framework matrix. The separation of CO2 is clearly demonstrated. The incorporation in our product can be seen, the incorporation of nanotechnology in our product can be seen in our metal organic framework UIO66NH2. The specific metal organic framework offers significant advantages due to its nanoscale dimensions. UIO66NH2 offers a high surface area, exceptional porosity, and tailored functional groups that enhance membrane performance for CO2 capture. Overall, nanotechnology plays a vital role in fine-tuning the structure and properties of the hybrid membrane, leading to improved performance and versatility. The higher magnification SEM cross-section image shows our hybrid membrane, which contains 40 weighted % of UIO66NH2 dispersed within our polymer. The network polymer region, which can be distinguished as the brighter areas, highlights good interfacial contact between the metal organic framework and polymer. Next slide. This is our overall timeline of CO2 capture to chalk creation. In cement production, CO2 is a major byproduct. Using our membrane, we can efficiently filter CO2 from exhaust gases. The CO2 is then desorbed using a mildly heated monoethanolamine solution and subsequently transferred to a calcium chloride solution. Electrolysis of the solution, triggered by the application of a voltage, promotes the desired reaction between calcium and CO2, resulting in the formation of calcium carbonate, a stable and valuable product. This process not only reduces emissions, but also creates a useful product.
Svante is one of our leading competitors in the carbon capture industry, but there are a number of reasons why our metal organic framework, or MOF, UIO66NH2, is better than Svante's MOF, Calgary Framework 20, or CAF 20. These reasons include having eco-friendly and non-flammable reactants in our MOF synthesis. And our MOF has a higher surface area, which is why our MOF can capture more CO2 per gram of MOF. It is also more resistant to higher temperatures, making it more durable. Our MOF is of overall better quality than Svante's MOF. Over the course of the next 5 years, we have planned out the progress we hope to achieve. Our first 6 months consist of finalizing our prototype and using marketing strategies as in a market study. We hope to reach 5 facilities throughout the course of our first year. During our second year, we will dedicate ourselves to our first 5 facilities, ensuring the quality and efficiency of our product. We will also strengthen our consumer base by advertising to other industries that with our product, they will lower their carbon footprint and enjoy reduced tax burdens. In our third year, we hope to reach to 15 facilities, including some out of state. For our fourth year, we want to expand to 30 facilities and improve our product the best we can. From year 5 and beyond, we will work to expand internationally and reach 50 facilities. We are asking for $9,726,299 for our first 3 years. Our 3-year cost breakdown, as shown in the pie chart, consists of 46.9% going to compensation of our workers, 46.5% to raw materials, and 3.8% for the rent of our lab space. We are selling our product as a system of many filters, continuously capturing carbon and then turning it into chalk. This process will happen in our customers' facilities, so they will get to enjoy a system of renewable chalk, which reduces their own cost. We will sell this product as a one-time cost of $500,000. Yeah.
Thank you.
I will say, I really liked the fact that you were going to stay local to the state first before expanding out. So many entrepreneurs I know are like, we're going national right off the bat. And like, that costs a lot of money to do. So I really want to give you kudos for realizing it's good to stay local first before expanding. My quick question is, are you targeting power plants for your first customers or cement manufacturers as your first customers?
We're going to target cement factories as our first customers since they can reuse the chalk created through the filter. So in turn, they'll be saving a lot of money on materials when making chalk.
Just a point, you may want to say that right off the beginning because it got a little confusing with the power plants versus cement, but it makes complete sense that you would start with the cement manufacturer.
So in the end, you say that your last step is electrolysis to make your calcium carbonate. But I'm not quite sure I understand that from a chemical point of view, because you should be able to do that reaction just by reacting with water.
Well, so the paper that we had researched on gave us this process, and we had researched a lot of papers, and this is the paper, what our paper told us, and we researched more on it. So, and this process does work like this.
Do you know what the electrolysis is doing in the process? I know it's a little, it's probably pretty technical, so you may not know what it's doing.
I'm not entirely sure, but I will do more research onto that, and I'll look up for that and follow up after the presentation.
Okay, no worries. And the other question is, do you know if there are any other companies trying to commercialize UIO66? Because I thought there were other companies. I mean, you guys have to use technology that somebody else developed. You can't like go to the lab and do a whole new thing. But if there are other companies, it's just something to talk about.
So we're not sure if there are other companies, but even if there are, we haven't found any that scaled it to how much we can scale it with our synthesis of the UIO 666.
I think I think you mentioned at the very last moment, which is each implementation was about $500,000. Is that right? That you're going to be selling it to?
Yes.
Right. Do you know how much it's going to cost you to deliver on that? You know, when you charge $500,000, what's it going to cost you to work on that? So, your production cost, whatever you're doing, you're selling for $500,000. What's it going to cost you?
Oh, it's going to cost us the actual, wait, I think we have a slide for this. Do we? I don't know. It's going to cost us okay, so our product is like a system of filters, and there are going to be 50 filters. Yeah-ish. And so, as you can see in our little diagram, we have a sort of like system that transports our filters throughout a little conveyor belt, on a conveyor belt. So our cost will contain the cost of both the manufacturing of our filter and the machinery. That will
How
take.
much? So how much does it cost for you to make it?
I think about like 4,000 something to make one filter.
Okay, yeah, it'll take us $4,435 to make one filter. So multiply that by 50, and that's the amount of.
For all
so
50,
we're
yeah.
not sure entirely on the whole cost of how much filters, but it should be around. It's about $200,000.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Team Nano Nerds.
This one is yours, right? Yeah. Right. Just double checking. Turn this on. And then, yeah, that's your slide advancer. Slides forward, slides backward. And then laser pointer. Wait, does it have speaker notes on this? This one, no, it does not. Oh, okay. You guys got this. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Chloe Enriquez.
I'm Juliana Santiago.
I'm Eileen Gutierrez.
I'm Liru Lee.
I'm Shelly Ahin.
We are the Nano Nerds, and this is our product NAPS. Heart disease is the number one leading cause of death in America. The most common type being coronary artery disease, otherwise known as CAD. CAD is a narrowing of blood and oxygen flow in arteries caused by the buildup of fatty deposits. Over 20 million U.S. adults suffer from this artery narrowing disease, with numbers increasing each year. The current market value for this is currently at $26.3 billion at a compound annual growth rate of 10.3%. Now, what exactly are we targeting? What our product targets are the cells that gather these fat deposits known as macrophages. Macrophages accumulate in the arteries, storing fatty compounds, and participate in lipoprotein indigestion. By maintaining a pro-inflammatory environment, it promotes the growth of plaque in the arteries. We aim to target the macrophages within plaque, preventing growth of plaque regression. Now, how exactly do we go about our procedure? Our iron-based nanoparticles act as carriers delivering drugs. They are manipulated to navigate the intricate network of arterial pathways, reaching the macrophages within plaque. Once administered via injection, these particles will be guided by an external magnetic field, ensuring a more effective and optimal treatment delivery. This targeted solution inhibits the growth and progression of artery clogging plaques. And this approach, in connection with magnetic field guidance, was a promising application towards reducing the plaque growth within arteries. The drugs that we'll use to coat the nanoparticles are rapamycin and necrostatin-1. Macrophages can be polarized into M1 and M2 macrophages, both of which play a role in plaque regression in the arteries. Rapamycin inhibits apoptosis in M2 macrophages, and necrostatin-1 inhibits necroptosis in M1 macrophages. With these two combined, we aim to alleviate plaque regression by targeting different subpopulations of macrophages within plaque.
So the name of our company is Patha, meaning Precise Advanced Technologies and Health Systems for Underserved Populations. So our goal as a company is to provide affordable medical treatment to those who are unable to afford current methods. And so the cost to produce a singular treatment is only $74, and our plan is a one-time payment of $1,200 for a weekly treatment over the course of 8 weeks. These are subject to change during the development of our product, and this may seem like a lot to pay for a treatment. However, let's take a look at our competitors. Several approaches exist for CAD treatment. This includes angioplasties, stent placements, and the intake of heart medication. While these treatments reduce the risk of cardiovascular events and manage plaque, they do not prevent complications of plaque from growing. The oral intake of heart medication, while cheaper compared to other options, reduces risks of cardiovascular events but does not completely eliminate them. Stent and angioplasty surgery ranges from tens to thousands of dollars, depending on location. So these interventions are highly invasive and inaccessible to certain populations due to their costly procedures. Our one-time payment of $1,200 is significantly cheaper and provides a more effective treatment compared to other methods. We are saving more lives by reducing our prices compared to our costly competitors. So during the first 2 years of developing our product, we plan to indicate them to constructing a prototype in 1 year to find the most optimal procedure. We will conduct several tests on mice by giving them varying dosages of the drugs. This will require $4.1 million. In year 2, we will use the data we gather to find the most effective method and create a prototype. This will require $6 million. And in year 3, to finalize our product, we will hold a clinical trial and see the effect it holds on humans. This will require $11 million. In short, we would need $21 million to fund the research of our company. Finally, we would like to thank our mentors, Armin and Sarah, for guiding us through the entire process. Thank you.
Okay, so I have just start with some clarifying. So both of the drugs that you want to deliver are drugs that keep the macrophages from dying so that the macrophages will digest the plaques and get rid of them. Is that a correct summary?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so those drugs can be taken orally. And
Yes.
when they are, obviously part of them is wasted, but it's much less invasive to just take an oral drug. So do the drugs get there? I guess the question is, why is this more complicated procedure better than just taking those drugs orally?
Okay, so essentially the reason why that it's a more invasive procedure is because it is more direct within the arteries, therefore being able to target the CAD because it is in the heart, and because if it was orally, then it would have to be ingested, therefore it would be less effective in the sense of targeting, and it'll be absorbed mainly by the kidney.
Is there evidence that the current drugs, that their limited effectiveness is because their limited ability to get the drug where it needs to go, or is it just that the drug can only do so much?
Could you rephrase that question?
Sorry. Is the limited effectiveness of oral drugs because they don't get where they need to go, or is it just because making the macrophages not die can only help so much?
Oh yeah, technically in a sense that since oral consumption, obviously it won't go through like the targeted areas at first, correct? So it'll go through the stomach and then therefore go to the arteries. And wouldn't it provide as much as effective a treatment as what we are providing, because ours directly goes into the arteries, whereas oral consumption would take a longer time to go through, and therefore would not provide as much of an effective treatment, if that answers your question.
How are these drugs guided?
Oh.
How do you know where they go? You say they're guided. How is
yes,
that?
they are guided through the, first of all, they're injected and then guided through the magnetic field. And then while using the iron oxides, nanoparticles, they guide directly to the arteries.
How do you know where the blockage is?
We will know where the blockage is because by using the intravascular ultrasound systems, which we will partner up with local hospitals and clinics to do so, like they will see directly where it is because the systems tell us, and it's cheaper than MRI.
Okay.
To sort of piggyback off that a little bit, so you're getting it through using a magnetic field. Is the patient just sitting in an MRI machine the whole time, and they're getting it that way, or like what's the magnetic field, and how do you actually apply that to the iron particles to get to where they need to go?
Okay, so I said we will be using the intravascular ultrasound system. It is way cheaper compared to MRI because MRI costs thousands to just run tests for, while the ultrasound systems is way cheaper, and like local hospitals already have them, and they will guide them through. You see, like it's near it. They will see the scans on the ultrasound systems and then like guide them.
Essentially, just think of like an ultrasound. The same mechanism is not an MRI, so they're not going to be laying there just in an MRI. It's going to be like an ultrasound, basically. Essentially, how it works.
As always, I'm just interested in what brought you to this subject and to exploring this.
Well, we were first brought to the subject of CAD because it affects many underserved populations, because there are many other treatments which is way more expensive and way more invasive, like heart surgery, which they may not have enough money for and cannot afford. Well, this is an 8-week treatment that requires only a few $1,000s, and it's way better at directing, and we could also do follow-up treatments at nearby clinics and hospitals. And it is the leading cause of death.
To add on to that, another main thing that mainly inspired us to go after this is the fact that it's cheaper than other options that there are, and because it's not costly, we could provide it to underserved populations that in which a lot of families really need it. So we're saving a lot of lives doing this.
Well done. All right, Team Sky Gardens.
Hi everyone, we are Sky Gardens. I'm Denise.
I'm Aziza.
I'm Yana.
I'm V. And I'm Camila. Sky Gardens is a public-private partnership company that creates gardens hanging between streetlights, improving pollution levels, and reducing the heat urban island effect through hydrogels.
The urban heat island effect occurs when asphalt, pavement, and high-density housing absorb sunlight, resulting in extreme temperatures that affect air quality and pollution levels. Due to the lack of green spaces in many communities today, residents face shorter lifespan and higher rates of obesity, heart diseases, and diabetes. Climate change spurs high temperatures, making outdoors intolerable for many people and plants. Mostly urban and low-income communities face these health risks. Data also estimates that homeless individuals account for approximately 13% of California hospitalizations due to heat-related diseases between 2017 and 2021. So how can we solve this issue?
Sky Garden is a revolutionary solution that cools urban areas by increasing shade and transpiration. The canopies improve air quality, regulate temperatures, and overall enhance the quality of life in our communities. So Sky Garden has a self-sustaining irrigation system and a weather-resistant metal structure and a mold-resistant Dacron fabric covering. The potting is specialized to retain water and to create an environment for plants to flourish in. And this is an AI generated picture showcasing our vision for our product's appearance in real life. We are planning to implement this on streetlights. Our product consists of a canopy structure, the vegetation section, and an irrigation system. The canopy structure is a flat horizontal canopy. The base is a zinc-coated steel wire mesh that's wrapped around a Dacron polyester fabric. The light mesh is sturdy and flexible, while the Dacron is white, reflecting the sunlight and reducing the heat absorbed by the concrete.
In the potting, chitosan nanoparticles act as a pesticide, growth enhancer, and antimicrobial agent against bacteria and fungi. Chitosan chlorella hydrogels and coconut coir chips are biodegradable, non-toxic, and improve water retention for the plants. We will use 3 sets of 5 different plants. It'll be placed into 3 columns and 5 rows, spaced evenly with vines surrounding the front and back sides. These 25 plants are all non-invasive and drought tolerant, making them low maintenance. To ensure the soil stays in place and nothing falls off, we'll place a white plastic mulch film on top of the potting soil. There will be holes for the plants to grow through, offering light exposure and promoting better aeration.
To ensure the plant's healthy development, our irrigation system is made up of drip lines, drip emitters, water reservoirs, as well as polyacromide carbon nanotube calcium chloride hydrogels or atmospheric water generators. One sky garden will have 2 15-gallon water reservoirs with 2 atmospheric water generators on both ends of the canopy to evenly collect and absorb water vapor. Each reservoir will be attached to a PVC drip line along the soil to water the plants. Drip emitters control the volume and flow rate of the water, reducing the amount of manual labor required. Water reservoirs will contain excess water to be utilized when water generators do not create enough. One sky garden will weigh around 145 kilograms.
The market for green solutions is large since the green roof market is expected to reach $6.8 billion in 2032. Solutions similar to ours include green roofs and parks, which possess high demand for communities in need. However, the development of these parks gentrifies the area and displaces low-income residents. And when it comes to rooftop gardens, they're not suitable for California buildings due to their cost, weight, and high demand for water. Sky Gardens offers a unique design that could be implemented to any street. Additionally, Sky Gardens only cost around $7,464, where rooftop gardens would cost around $12,000 to $40,000.
In the first year, Sky Gardens will create and install 30 prototypes across San Fernando Road in Pacoima. We will observe the canopies and fine-tune them before wide distribution of our product. In the second year, Sky Gardens will hire more staff to maximize efficiency and expand production. We will also form alliances with local authorities, initiate community engagement, and implement record-keeping system. Lastly, in year 3, we will expand along the entire road of San Fernando Road, significantly increasing our numbers of canopies. We ensure our employees will be compensated well, making $4.5 million for salary cost. Taxes and benefits include insurance, income fees, and more, costing $2.4 million. Additional costs include warehouse rent, equipment, and annual costs, costing $3.4 million. Our raw material cost per canopy is $4,665.23. Our profit margin is 60%, so selling price per canopy would be $7,464. With these prices, our annual garden sales will break even by year 5. All in all, we're asking for $10.3 million. Thank you.
Okay, so there were some really cool ideas in here. In particular, the use of water harvesters as a way to water these. But you didn't talk anything about the technology. So I want to use this question to give you a little opportunity to fill in that gap that you didn't talk about, because I think it's actually the coolest piece of this is the idea that you could have a passive watering system integrated.
So, just give me a second. So sorry. So our atmospheric water generators are basically, they're kind of like jelly-like, and during night they absorb the water from the atmosphere because the low temperatures is basically more condensation. And during the day, due to high temperatures, the atmospheric water generators, they absorb more sunlight, low albedo, and they will release approximately 20 grams of water per 2.5 hours due to exposure to sun.
So this is a polymer-based water absorber. There are actually many water absorber technologies. I guess my last question is will these generate enough water in LA to keep your plants from dying? Like, have you done a number calculation? How big a water generator would you need, and how much water do your plants need to like actually all work together?
Since our plants are mostly native and they're drought tolerant, they don't require a lot of water. They just need like watering once or twice a week. And our our water generators, they hold up a lot of water, and we calculated it. I'm not sure about the exact number, but it is enough for all 25 plants.
It would be 12 liters of water.
It could generate 12 liters a night?
Yes.
Okay. Just in general for everybody, when you put numbers to things, if they're real numbers based on calculations, it makes people believe you. And so big, small doesn't make people believe you as much as this is what a typical plant takes in liters. This is what, you know, a 2 kilo water generator could harvest. It would be enough. That adds a lot of credibility.
My question is also somewhat scientifically related. You say these systems would weigh about 145 kilograms, spanned over an 80-foot stretch. That seems like a mechanical nightmare, I guess.
So using the extra aluminum tubing and taking in that the steel wire mesh is lightweight, if it's spanned over like a long street, then all the potting and the plants and the water generators, it'll be balanced out a bit. And using the calculations we made, we got over 145 kilograms.
Now, if you're going to put 300 pounds in the air like that, you've got an insurance nightmare. And you've got wind problems to deal with. If you're putting this in Pacoima, Sun Valley, you're going to have a lot of wind. So you got to think about that. If you're going to go forward with this, someone has to give you some coaching on that. By the way, 3 liters of water per generator is a lot. We're doing a lot of that work at the UC system with MOFs, and I haven't seen numbers like this with the metal oxide frameworks. So I'm not sure how you can generate that kind of water. I'm not sure you need that much water, but you got to be real clear on how you expect to generate that much water overnight. You can generate water that way. There's no question about it. But this volume, and of course at 12 liters, you got more weight. And so I worry about the structural problem as well. You said this is going to be a public-private partnership, which is fine, but you had a profit analysis at the end. So what's the impetus to come up with a revenue number for that?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
You said at the start that this is a public-private partnership, which tells me this is a not-for-profit venture, which is fine. No problem with that. I think in that case, all we need to know is how you're going to recover your costs. But here you're trying to generate a profit of, what, $2,800 per something. And I didn't understand the rationale for that.
So we're a nonprofit company, and based on our calculations we made, we saw that we would break even by year 5. So that's in our future directions to create more canopies and use the grants and funding we have to help generate that amount of canopies, so we can get to a point where we'll become a nonprofit and won't be in debt.
We want to include a return on investment for potential investors, so that they're not leaving this project without earning anything. So to entice people to actually invest in our product, we wanted to actually generate money.
All right, well done. Thank you. All right, last team, but certainly not least team.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. We are
Relevare.
My name is Sophia. This is my co-presenter, Lynn. This is Jacqueline. This is Kailani. And this is Emma.
Our product, Dermal Patch, aims to promote a sense of self-confidence in the skin of our eczema patients. With the use of nanotechnology, we can alleviate your symptoms and also notify reapplication with our color-changing aspects. We are asking for an initial investment of $5.8 million for the first 3 years of our business. So what is eczema? Eczema is a skin condition that causes infection, inflammation, itchiness, and dryness of the skin. But it can also affect your mental well-being as well. In the US or globally, 223 million people are affected. Of those numbers, 20% are children, but our target demographic is children, teenagers, young adults, and parents who are mostly going to be buying our product. For example, our teammate here, Jacqueline, has eczema. And in the US, about 10 million children are affected with this. The atopic dermatitis market is valued at $15.6 billion. And in the next 10 years, with a CAGR of 11%, the market value will be at $43.2 billion. And we hope to capture at least 1% of this, as it will give us a profit, and we will have a profit margin of 50% throughout the 3 years.
And here's a closer look at the nanotechnology aspect of our patch. Here you can see that our nanoparticles are going to be made out of polylactic glycolic acid, and it will encapsulate our Cerazone medication, which we'll talk about later, and our pigments. So it is both biodegradable and biocompatible, making it optimal to be used within the skin. And it will also help in our diffusion of the medication as well. So here's a breakdown of our Cerazone formula, which we will be patenting. It contains aloe, caprylyl water, and ceramides, which helps with antibacterial properties, hydration, and overall just healing the skin. And our hydrocortisone, which is a tried and true treatment for eczema, will be less than 1%, meaning that it can be used over the counter and also eliminates any extra costs for clinical trials. So here is a breakdown of how our patch works. So the film outside would be a polyurethane film, which is very breathable, and it also maintains a lot of moisture and creates an environment that is optimal for healing. The second layer will be our emulsion layer, containing our PLJ nanoparticles encapsulating our Cerazone medication, including hydrocortisone and ceramides, as well as our pigments. And our last layer will be a nanofiber layer, which will catch the pigments, but still allow the Cerazone medication to continue diffusing through and into the skin to heal eczema.
Here is a comparison between Dermal Patch and our competitors. We have a color-changing aspect, a 24-hour relief, a better penetration of the skin, and a targeted medication, meaning that it will specifically target eczema properties. And our cost per patch is cheaper, considering that we have more advanced technology. And Dermal Patch can be shaped into many different designs, which would target towards our younger demographic. Once again, we are asking for an investment of $5.8 million. In the first year, we are going to use $2.8 million to open facilities, to soft launch, to develop, and also pay our workers throughout the 3 years. In the second year, we're going to use $1.3 million to hard launch, and we want to generate some sales of $200,000, making a profit of $3 million. And this is after we have return on investments. In the third year, we are going to use $1.7 million to expand onto the online market, make distribution agreement contracts with retailers, and also we want to generate sales of $300,000, making a total profit throughout the 3 years of $6.8 million.
And overall, just to reiterate our vision for Derma Patch is to revolutionize eczema care, to enhance both the mental and physical well-being of our patients. Once again, we are
Relevare.
Thank you.
Okay, so my starting question is, the stuff that's going into your patch is normal good stuff. So how does this compare to the creams and other things that are currently on the market? I didn't really see that super clear comparison.
So one of the benefits of our product is that it's able to provide a specific amount of the concentration. When kids or adults are applying, they don't typically apply the right amount of whatever medicine they're using, and ours has a very specific concentration, as well as the fact that we have a color-changing aspect that allows the user to notify when they need to replace the medication or replace the patch.
And how does that, I was very confused about the color changing part. How does the color changing part work?
Yes. So basically, in the emulsion layer, we have the PLGA nanoparticles containing our pigment. And as the PLGA, when the patch is put onto the skin, the pigments and the cerazone, the PLGA will continue to diffuse downwards, but the pigments will get stuck in the nanofiber layer. But the cerazone medication will continue to diffuse into the skin. So once it starts to get stuck into the pigment, it changes a different color, or it gets darker, which will basically notify reapplication.
So it's not a responsive color change, it's just a time dependent. This is, your patch has been on for a certain amount of time.
Yes.
How do you keep that diffusion from happening in the packaging?
Okay, that's a really great question. So one of the ways that we do that is through actually using a vacuum. So like I showed with the package, I showed it being open. So when it's in a sealed package like that, no air is able to get in, and therefore within the PLGA, the air will create a vacuum, forcing all of the pigments and all of our medication to be stuck inside. Once you open the package, the air will be it will cause all of the medications and everything that's being encapsulated in a PLGA to be finally released, which is when you start putting it on your skin. So it won't actually be released in the package because it's being in a vacuum space, but it will be released once you open the package and start using it.
And I'll stop in a second, but the pigment diffusion is somehow correlated with the medication diffusion?
Yes, because it's within the same PLGA encapsulation sphere.
As the medication or our formula is being diffused, then it allows for a higher concentration of the pigment to be released, or also it's gains color over time, a higher concentration.
Going from a diluted state to a more concentrated state because the medicine is leaving behind the pigment.
And they are both diffused through the PLGA pores at the same time.
Can you go to your competition slide real quick? So, cost per patch versus price per patch. Is this the cost to produce your patch versus the cost to produce the Umbrella, Eczema, and the NutriCare product, or are those the prices that they sell for?
These are our costs per patch, including our manufacturing, our labor, and the ingredients that it costs.
Okay, and same for your two competitors, that's their cost to produce?
Yes.
What do they sell for, and what do you sell your product for?
Sorry, to clarify, per patch means an individual patch, not the whole box.
No, I understand that, but
Okay.
there's the cost to produce, and then there's the price you charge your customer for.
Right. So this is, to produce, it was $13. To sell, we put it, our total sell for per unit, which is per box, would be $28.
As far as our competitors, I think, Jacqueline, you did some research on competitors as they're like how much these are being cost to consumers. How much does it cost for Umbrella Academy and NutriCare?
Okay. So for Umbrella Academy, they sell 4 patches, right? And for each box, which is the four patches, it's $15. We're selling ours. We have 10 patches. We're selling it for $28. And NutriCare, they also have 10 patches. They're selling theirs for $10. But the thing with theirs is that they have less medication or less efficiency than ours. So that's why we have ours at a higher price, because we have more advanced technologies and more specific treatment.
Okay, so that is the price per patch to the consumer.
Yes. Just to clear everything up, this is our cost that we're selling it for per patch, and that's the same for the rest of us.
And so then what is your cost to produce it?
Our cost to produce is $13.
To make not a single patch.
To make a
right?
box.
To make a box.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Is your intention to sell direct to consumers? You're selling through pharmacies. Kind of how are you thinking about going to market?
Okay, so there's multiple ways we'll be selling. In the future years, we'll be moving into online, so they'll be able to buy from online. But we're primarily going to be starting with Costco's in stores like Costco's, where consumers have more money, so they'll be purchasing our product more because they have more money to spend. And then as we gain more money, we'll be branching out to pharmacies and like CVS and Walgreens so that it can be explored to a bigger consumer base.
How much do you think Costco is going to pay you per box?
I think that would be $28 as that is like our base price.
So how much do you think Costco is going to sell it for to the consumer?
To clarify, we would have to give them a certain percentage of whatever our profits are. So we would have to it would have to be higher than 28. We haven't done too much research on that yet.
Yeah.
But
Just FYI, Costco typically sells consumer product goods for anywhere between 10 to 20% gross margin. So if you're selling for 28, they'll probably sell for somewhere around 32-ish, something like that. 33, 35. Depending on kind of how
Thank you for the insight. Thank you.
I just want to make one quick comment as we pass by. All of your numbers are, 3,200,000. This is really good because you guys, all of you, this is a comment for everybody, are making up these numbers. So you do not know them to 8 significant digits. So this is exactly how you should present these numbers in sort of big round numbers that says we sort of know them. The more you're making it up, the less significant digits you give. So good job on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done. All right, so let's first of all give a hand to our second pass of presenters. And one more hand to all of our presenters today who did an amazing job. So before we send everyone to lunch, there's a few groups of people that we would like to give some thanks to. First is this set of people here, which are Nikki Lynn, Sonia Luna, Langston Tolbert, and Mike Huntley, all of whom gave our participants business workshops that they did throughout the competition. I don't think any of them are here today, but I think some of them might be watching on the live stream. So I wanted to shout them out and give them thanks for guiding all of our students. So if we can give them a hand. Some extra shout outs I need to give. Once again, I need to thank our very generous co-conspirator of this event, sponsor of this event, wonderful person of this event, Denise Apchen and ERA Science. I see a few of our UCLA graduate student mentors that are here. So mentors, can you stand up so we can give you huge applause? Oh my gosh. These are very, very busy graduate students trying to get their PhD, which is no easy feat in and of itself. So for them to take the time out of their schedules to meet with these students and help guide them on their projects, we cannot give them enough thanks. So thank you guys so much. And it's so nice to see you here too, some of you. So thank you. Yeah, one more applause for them, for sure. I also want to give another round of thanks to our judges who are all incredibly important, busy people doing important, busy people things. So thank you for taking the time today to come and see these presentations. I hope it was as fun for you as it was for all of us. I want to thank all of the teachers of all of our students. For also being the guides for all of these learners. Thank you so much for your time. And I also want to thank all of our students who are here today. Truly, I feel like I get biased every year I see new presentations because I'm always so amazed at what you guys come up with. But I truly feel like the bar gets raised for this competition every year. It is so impressive what you guys come up with in such a short period of time. So huge, huge props to all of you. Incredible work. And also, last but definitely not least, I want to give a big thank you to all of the CNSI staff who helped with this event today. events team, audio visual team. I need to give a huge thank you to Dr. Shailene Tanimoto and Dr. Elaine Morita, who are also most incredible CNSI staff. So yeah, thank you to everyone. So Shailene and Elaine, I think, are gonna help guide people to lunch. So our lunch is gonna be up on the 6th floor. Judges will also grab lunch on the 6th floor. So if you see a judge, please kindly let them grab lunch first, because they also then need to go down to the 5th floor afterwards to do all of our tallying and selection. But for now, if you all want to follow Shailene and Elaine upstairs, then, or follow Alex. Follow whoever is leading you up to the 6th floor. And we will be back down here at 1:15. Unless you want me to leave it up, but
No, we have a
a screen thing that's already perfect.
Mhm.
Yeah. Excellent.
So you came back and had to do this.
Yeah. Amongst other things, yeah.
Yeah. I came
Thank
back.
God for Shailene and Elaine.
Oh.
right there. That's fine. Oops.
So where's Nikki? Isn't she supposed to be here?
She is away on a trip, I believe. Hence why she is not here today, unfortunately. Because yeah, normally she's often served as a judge.
I think she's trying to avoid me. Tell her.
I do not think that is the case.
Because I'm trying to get her together with the Terasaki people.
Whoops.
The other day would be Magnify and
That was a
Terasaki.
great seminar. It was
Which one?
the Terasaki.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was really
Which
good.
one?
I gave them their closing night party.
Oh, you did?
I did. That was great. Very nice job.
Just making also a finalist slide so that teams can take a photo with that up here.
With Keith and Cecilia.
Keith is
Yep.
so nice.
What a prince.
Yeah, they're so nice.
The streaming is live.
I'm going to mute the mic, but just in the next few seconds, don't.
Shut up.
Did everybody get to the line and get food?
I'll take one. All right, I think we have everyone back. Hello. Hope you all enjoyed lunch. So before we announce the winners, while I was in the room with the judges, they were all saying some really, really wonderful things about you all. So I wanted to give them a chance to express the things they were saying to me to all of you. So I'm actually going to hand the mic over. Howard, do you want to?
So, by the way, I want to congrats to everybody here. I think Rita was spot on when she said that I think the quality has improved every year that Nanovation's happened. You guys have probably been the best class yet. So, round of applause for each of you. And George is a fellow venture capitalist here, and I think one of the things that we literally just mentioned to Rita was there's a lot of founders that we take pitches out of that can learn a few things from you guys, to be honest. And I think the fact that you guys took a lot of the Q&A to heart, answered what you knew were factual, what you knew were accurate, and did not try to make up an answer, and then actually inform us that you're going to go back, do the work, and come back to us with a better answer. That's huge. There's a lot of founders that pitch me daily trying to get millions of dollars from me that would make things up on the fly, and I know they're making it up on the fly, right? That the integrity, the belief that you want to do the right thing, that's huge. That's big for me. It's a big reason why I invest in companies, is their founders, the integrity that it's not just their intelligence, they're knowledgeable about kind of what but the person, right? You're investing in character, and that shows a lot of character integrity on your part. So I really, really do appreciate all of you, and literally I think every team did this, and I thought that was phenomenal.
Well, I'll keep it brief, but we had to duke it out in there because we all had our favorites, and actually we wanted everybody to win because every team brought it, and we've seen, obviously, as Howard was saying, we've seen a lot, you know, and you guys really are. He wasn't kidding. You're the best so far, and it was just a joy. I'm sorry that you can't all be first place because in our minds you are. And we just had to, because it is a competition, we had to make decisions. But know that we just are so proud and impressed with you guys. So thank you so much for being here.
I'll just piggyback off of this with the presentation skills were phenomenal too. And that is something that will serve you throughout your career, no matter what you get into, where you go with it. Being able to present well in front of people is a skill, and it's hard to do, and it's hard to learn, but the more you do it, the better you get, and you are already well on your way.
I think I'll start with Howard's comment. He and I and Schaefer, we've seen a lot of presentations, and after a while, you know when somebody's bluffing. Don't ever think you're getting away with it, because you're not. If you don't know the right answer is, I don't know, and remember that. I teach in the business school. I see a lot of MBA business plans, and what I saw today was comparable to what I'm going to see next week from my grad students. I was very impressed and stunned. You've got some great mentorship you've had, and I think you're all on a good start. Like I say, it's comparable to what I'm going to see next week. So when you decide to come to college, think about UCLA, because this is a great place to be, and we'd like to have you all.
Okay, and I will just end by saying there's been some of these presentations where people were going along and then a miracle occurred and a product was developed. And there was none of that. There were, there's holes in different pieces of science, but everybody's presentation was grounded in real technology and science, and I totally appreciated that. So like we said, we wish we could have made everybody first because they were all, it wasn't any, okay, throw those off the table. We don't have to consider those. There was nobody we could throw off the table. But in the end, we did have to make choices. But do realize you guys were all great.
And win or lose, if this competition has inspired you, please keep going. Please continue this journey. We have had teams, again, that did not win this competition, didn't even place in third, but continued on with their idea and won other competitions with their idea by keeping on with that track. So please, whatever you get out of this, I hope you got fun, I hope you got to learn something, and I hope you all got inspired. So with that being said, we did have to make the tough choice of having our top 3 teams. So I get the job of getting to announce our winners. So our 3rd place team for Nanovation 2024 is Team Aerotech. So Team Aerotech, come on up. We have trophy, we have some medals for you, and a giant novelty check that you get to take a photo with. So I'm going to have you guys actually stand in this space over here so we can take a photo. Yeah, both this way. There we go. Amazing. Yeah, perfectly blinded. Excellent. All right. Well done. All right. So, in second place for Nanovation 2024 is Team Nano Liner. Nicely done. You too are the recipients of a giant novelty check. Yeah. Well, not always into the light, but in this case, into the light. All right. Beautiful. Wonderful. Well done. Congratulations. All right. So, for Nanovation 2024, in first place is Easy Breathe. Well done, Team Easy Breathe. Great job. Yeah, stand. Yeah, like in and around sort of this area. Make sure you're blinded by the lights so it'll look beautiful in a photo. All right, well done. Congratulations. All right, and for all of our teams this year, if you would like to be acknowledged with a photo as an innovation finalist, because you were all phenomenal this year, please come up and we will take photos of you as well, because we'd love to document all of you guys being outstanding for this year. Really great job, everyone. Yeah, we can call, actually, let's call teams one at a time. That's a great idea. Let's just go in the order that they are up here. And if you have them, bring your certificates with you as well. Yeah, and I think some of our judges have to run now to other events. So judges, thank you again so much. All right. Photo time.
Mentors can join the photos too. Okay, Jasmine Skin.
Yesterday a little bit, so I'm like taking going in. If you would like to take a photo, please, yeah. You can be in it, of course. We would love to have you in it. Happy birthday, Tana.
Okay, Nano Liner already did theirs. Easy Breathe did theirs. Aerotech did theirs. So Noka.
Oh, I need this shirt.
Nice. Okay, next up is carbon catch and recraft. Okay, next up is Sky Gardens. Okay, and then Relevare. Okay, and then this is the last group. Alex and Lily, you don't want to be in the photo? You're here.
Big thank you again to everyone, to all our students, all our teachers, all our mentors, all our judges. And again, I have to tell you guys, this was the best year of presentations we've had. You were all really, really good. It's tough to choose winners, but you guys are all fantastic. Please, everyone, keep going. You guys are so inspiring. And the judges really did say everything that they were saying to you guys up here. They really did actually say that in the deliberations. I promise you they did. So please, please take all of that to heart and keep going and keep innovating. Thanks, everyone.